Hey guys, what's going on? So, I think a lot of you guys have been in this situation where you have a new alt, or you might be new to the game and you just started, and you're at this eye level where it's about 195 to 205, 206. And it's just awkward, right? You want an arena, but it kind of feels like you're sort of going, I guess, against a lot of people who are considerably more geared than you. And there's no like clear path of progression here. Like you can see here, I've got a lot of BOEs because this is my alt. I've got a lot of gold. I went and bought BOEs. I bought the renown gear. It's pretty good. And there's only a couple pieces that I really need to upgrade. So I've got the luxury of being able to do that. A lot of you guys don't. A lot of new people starting the game don't either. So when you think about what we can do, like I could do some arena and try and get conquest cap, but very hard to get groups in LFG. I could go do the raid, which firstly I could do a raid finder, which isn't really an eye level upgrade. I could try it at normal if people accept me. Again, only a few pieces would be an upgrade. And then heroic, where there's some pieces that actually are pretty good, it's very unlikely I'll get into a pug. So it sort of assumes that I have a buy carry in it, or I know I'm in a guild or something where I can get a heroic run in, and hopefully luck out and get some good gear. So why is this an issue in the first place? So originally this video was intended to kind of we worked with Ludus Labs, Dr. Gibbs, who you guys all know, use a lot of his stuff for my videos, to work out what the probability is that you're going to be outgeared at different ratings. Originally, this video was more of a response to a lot of the people who say that they feel like they're always being outgeared. So I could say, look, actually, it's not that bad. It's not 100% of the time you're going to get outgeared, but it's actually surprising what some of these numbers show. So we're gonna show you here what these numbers are. So this is the first one, right? This is the first sort of. Let me close this image down. So at 1200 to 1400, the median eye level is roughly 209, and then if you see these error bars here, this is so if, like you're at 203 eye level. 75% of people at 1200 to 1400 will outgear you, which is nuts, right? If you are at roughly 216 eye level, you'll outgear 75% of people. So you can sort of see how insane these numbers are because the highest eye level conquest gear you can get is 200 eye level. The highest eye level honor gear you can get is 197. Your legendary, if you've just come back or you started a new character, is probably going to be like 190 to 210. Not going to be too high. And it's only a problem that sort of seems to, I guess, exist at a really bad level between 1200 to 1600. So where a lot of new people are joining in the game, a lot of alts. Noting that some of these people might have quit. If you're really low eye level, maybe you got 1800 in the first day and you never play anymore, right? You'll still be counted in these statistics. But largely, you can sort of see that it's inflated pretty considerably. At 1400 to 1600, the maximum sort of gear you can get is probably roughly, I think, 207 combatant gear. And the median eye level is about 212. And then 1600, this is when I think 16 to 8 to 2100, it gets a lot more reasonable because here you can get access to 213 eye level, and there's only like a 2 or 3 eye level difference here, and you probably by this time have your conquest piece, sorry, your legendary close to maxed out. You get the eye level boost from that, and hopefully some vault rewards. And then at 1800 to 2100, the median is roughly 221. Lines up very nicely with having full conquest gear, plus one, legendary. This is still a really, really hard number, especially when you consider that at like 218, 217 eye level, you're going to be outgeared 75% of the time, which is crazy. But I think it really shows the importance of gear right now and how difficult it is to get into arena if you aren't geared. And we're going to look again at some statistics, right? And noting that between the 190 here, so these actually decrease at the 1400, 1600 breakpoint. That's largely because there's some noise here where people who sort of got higher rating really early on are probably still counted in this mix, whereas you're getting probably a larger population in the 12 to 1400 bracket of new players who are still playing. So 190 eye level, which is sort of almost the max honor level cap, you're going to be outgeared 93.3% of the time. At 195, 86.9%. And then I think what's most interesting that is even at the point where you would probably have the highest eye level you can get purely off conquest gear and honor gear, if you somehow capped your sort of conquest out, you're still getting outgeared 77% of the time. Bonkers, right? And we can see that here again at the 1400 to 1600 bracket, where at this 205, which is probably closest to the 207 you can get, you're still outgeared 70% of the time. So it does decrease in terms of what the highest level, eye level you can reach is, based on your conquest gear. But it's still a massive issue that even at a point where, you know, the people should be able to like get, like, it's not that easy to get a 205 or 207. It takes quite a while to get all that conquest, and even with me buying BOEs, it took a lot of time to get all the conduits, renown, all this other crap. So to get into arena and just be completely shat on by 9 out of 10 people, like if you're in this 1200 bracket, that is really really rough. And even at 215, which is considerably out gearing um, the this sort of rating bracket, you're getting outgeared like 38% of the time, which is also crazy. The 16 to 1800, we see that again. 53% of the time you enter an arena, you will be getting outgeared at 215 eye level, which is, you know, definitely a better number than this one at 205, and definitely better than 200. But you can sort of see this trend where it still feels very very hard because this takes a lot of time, and you're not even like equal yet, you know. And this isn't even like, this is probably the max you can get to with like a 235 legendary plus your 213 gear. This is probably the maximum you can get to, and you're still getting outgeared most of the time. And then at 1800 to 2100, you have, you know, you're clearly going to get shit on if you're between 190 to 210 eye level. You're just so outgeared here. At 215 even, you're still outgeared, but by 220 you're sort of on even ground. So this kind of brings me to this graph, which shows how ludicrous it is. This is your honor. I'll zoom out a little bit. This is the honor you need, the total honor, and this is the different ranks, right? So to upgrade pretty much all your pieces, it's going to cost, you know, almost 100,000 honor. But even when you just look at ranking up unranked gear, you know, it's like 1800 plus about 3k. This is like roughly 10k honor. This is roughly probably about another 10, 15k honor. And then it gets really crazy at rival, right? Because there's how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different pieces to upgrade. They all roughly average probably around 2k honor. That's 2 honor caps you need to get. And a duelist, it's probably about double that. You probably need 4 honor caps to get to duelist eye level. The reason why I'm bringing this up is this is a huge time investment. If you think about how much honor you get per arena win, it's like 100. Per RBG even, which is the best way, it's about 1,000. So to get from like rival to duelist on all your pieces, you're looking at doing like 45 RBGs. If you're doing sort of twos games, you're looking at winning 450 twos games. Not just playing them, but winning. So if you go 50-50, it's about 900 sort of arena games you have to play. You average that out to roughly being like 5 minutes per arena game, maybe a bit shorter, 3 minutes per arena game. That's still 2,700 minutes that you're playing twos to just get gear. So you're the same eye level as people at your rank. I think there's a couple reasons for this. At the higher brackets, I think there's just a lot of mains who've been slowly keeping up to date with Shadowlands. You know, the game's sort of been out, the arena season's been out for almost 4 months now, or has been out for 4 months. So it's a lot of vault caps that you get for free. It's a lot of honor that you just get for doing random arenas, BGs, if you started from day one. But if you're starting now, this is not a nice site for anyone to look at. The fact that you need this much honor to play at the same level without being at a handicap, right? And usually, if you're under geared at this rating, you've probably already got a handicap because you're going to be on an alt or a fresh character, or you're just starting out an arena. So it feels kind of punishing to not only be starting out an arena, but to be so thoroughly under geared as well. So I got a couple hypotheses for these. My main reason is this is probably what generally happens. I think people they get hard stuck at 1400 or 1200. Doesn't really matter what the rating is. They've got these three options here. They have a quit arena, right? Because they just get hard stuck. They're annoyed. They're frustrated. They're dying a lot, which is where I think a lot of new people go. They have a grind, improve their gameplay. They're watching Twitch streams. They're watching their own VODs. They're playing with better people. Very difficult, time consuming as well. It's something you should do, but it's very painful at 1400 because you have to use LFG. You really don't know what's going on, and everyone's so toxic. Or you buy a boost, or you get help from a geared friend of yours, another arena player. I think this is happening a lot when you're buying boosts or you're getting help from friends, because of the fact that if you just get to 1600 for a couple days, you upgrade all your gear, and now you're at like 213, and you come like what often happens is if you keep playing arena, you're not really good enough to play without the boost. So you drop back down into 1400 to 1600, but you'll just be more geared. So maybe you'd be at 1500 or 1550 rather than 1450 or 1400. So that means that you're just punishing other players who are entering the game who aren't able to keep up. The other note is that there's probably a lot of people from RBGs, who have a dedicated RBG team but don't do arena that often. In that case, they're just going to be outgearing almost everyone. So, I'd like to know what you guys think is a potential way that this problem can be solved. We don't want people to quit arena. We do want people to grind and improve their gameplay. And buying boosts is sort of like, I'm agnostic to it. I think it's fine to an extent, but at this stage of gearing, when you do have this iLvL discrepancy between starting out, where you're usually starting out at this bracket, which isn't even on the error bar, you're so thoroughly disadvantaged that it doesn't make you want to play the game anymore. You just want to do something else. And Arena's been growing really, really consistently, on YouTube, Twitch, generally. I do think I've somehow opened this box. I do think Blizzard needs to go and work out some catch-up mechanics, potentially bring back that WOD scaling for them to consistently see an increase in sort of viewership and participation in arena. Because I think the gear thing has been good. This is an upgrade from BFA, but it's still insanely time consuming to grind out all this honor. And it's even more frustrating when you have honor cap, you're a combatant, and you can't even get to the challenger bracket to upgrade your stuff. So would be interested to see potentially what they could do. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Take it easy. Have a good one.